Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a review on this Mueller single serve K-Cup coffee maker. So I recently just bought this at Menards for $65. They do sell it on Amazon for about $110. So this is a single serve coffee maker that does K-Cups. It's got 3 buttons here, 6, 8, and 12 ounces. You can reprogram these buttons for 8, 10, and 12. I'll show you how to do that later in the video. So it's got a water sight gauge up here. It's got a little red ball in it that shows you how much water is in your water reservoir. So the coffee maker looks really nice. You open it up here. You're going to put the K-Cup in right here. It's going to pierce the bottom and the top. There's what the bottom needle looks like. There's what the top needle looks like. And then you're just going to close it. Around back we got a water reservoir. Again, the coffee maker looks really nice. This is removable. The lid here, I can open it up. And it's got a 3-prong power cord. So the coffee maker is very simple to operate. You're just going to turn it on. It does beep at you. You're going to put a K-Cup in. When I press this handle down, it's going to pierce the top and the bottom. And then you're just going to select size, 6, 8, or 10. I like to brew my coffee K-Cups on 8 ounces. Now it's a very quiet and fast coffee maker. So it starts brewing right away. And we're going to check some temperatures. So starting out about 175. Looks like it's ramping up pretty good. 190. Looks like it's going to stay around 190. I'm not getting a bunch of splatters around, so it's really nice. And they do call this a rapid brew, so I can, after brewing this cup of coffee, I can take it out, put another K-Cup in, and brew another coffee right after this one. When you first turn the machine on, all 3 lights will be blinking at you, kind of letting you know that it's heating the water up inside there, but it doesn't take very long at all. Okay, so it's done brewing. It does beep at you twice to let you know that it's done brewing. Okay, how hot a cup of coffee do we have? 168. Yeah, that's a really hot cup of coffee. There's what it looks like. Let's give it a taste. It's really, really hot. Wow, that makes a really hot cup of coffee. I've been using this coffee maker for a while. It tastes really good. Again, K-Cups only hold 2 tablespoons of coffee, so 8 ounces is just right for me. Now, if you want to do it a little stronger, you can run 6 ounces through there, but 12 ounces through a K-Cup is a pretty watered down coffee for me. Okay, so let's see how the K-Cup did. You're going to open up the lid. Be careful. There's how it did. You're going to grab this. Okay, so let's go over sizes. So without the drip tray in, or with the drip tray in, it's about 6 1/4. We can take this drip tray out and put a travel mug in, and we can get almost a 7 1/4 inch, about a 7-inch travel mug in there. The coffee maker does power down if you leave it on, but you can just hit the power button and turn it off yourself. So the technical specs, it's got a rated voltage, input voltage of 120 volts, 60 hertz. Its power that it takes is 1,420 watts. It says it has a 3-bar pump inside, and the water tank is 45 ounces on the back. So front to back, you're right at 12 inches. Left to right looks about 7, almost 8 inches. And height-wise, you're about 16.5 inches with the handle all the way up. So with this coffee maker, there's no fancy descale light. You're just going to have to descale this about every 3 to 6 months with some vinegar. I'll do a separate video to show you that. So it does come with a manual, and the manual tells you how to change the default coffee volumes. Again, the default, it comes out of the box with 6, 8, and 12, but we can change those buttons to 8, 10, and 12. So you can change this button here to 8, 10, and 12 if you want. And so I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. Leave it powered off, and you're supposed to unplug it. Okay, I got it unplugged. Okay, so it's unplugged. Now, I'm going to hold this button, the small brew button. I'm going to hold that in while I plug it in. Okay, so now the middle light is lit. That tells us something. So if the middle light is lit, that means it's factory default. This is 6, 8, and 12. If we want to change it, press the big cap button, and now the defaults are 8, 10, and 12. And if we want to go back to the default settings, press the small cap button. But we've got to make sure it memorizes it. So in order for the machine to memorize it, we got to press the power button. So now it's memorized. Now when I turn it on, those buttons are 8, 10, and 12. Okay, so let's say we want to go back to factory default settings. We're going to unplug it. So with it unplugged, you're going to hold the big button and plug it in. It says that light's going to flash twice, the reservoir, then let up. Now we're back to factory defaults. Okay, so let's brew another cup of coffee. Again, 8 ounces. Again, it is a very quiet and fast coffee maker. One thing I did notice is the lid. It's a little tricky getting just the cap off, but once you get used to it, it's okay. I just found that to be a little tricky. And then towards the end of the brew, it does drip a little bit. Like a Keurig machine will kind of run a gush of air through there and kind of clean out the K-cup. This one will drip a little bit. And this Snickers K-cup tastes really good. It's still got that strong coffee bitterness to it, but it does have that taste of Snickers. So you can see here towards the end, it's running some water through it. But again, you don't get that like gush of air going through the K-cup. So I do notice it just drips a little bit. The beeps are not super annoying. It's just to let you know that it's done. So you can take your coffee out. Again, you do get some drips, but the drip tray catches them all very nice. Here's what it looks like again. Yeah, it does brew a really good cup of coffee. Okay, so let's see how the K-cup again. Yeah, it does a really good job with the K-cups. Now the needle basket comes out a little different. You're just going to turn it and then it comes out. So if you're going to want to clean this periodically and put it in and just kind of turn it. The top needle, it's kind of hidden behind that gasket. And that top needle is a little different. Okay, so the reason you don't see the top needle is because it really doesn't come out of the machine until the lid's closed. So I'm going to simulate that. When this lid is closed, then you can pull this handle. There's the needle. I've never really seen that needle move before on different machines. So this one is intriguing. But again, if you don't have these to press, you can't move it. You can't expose the needle. And then the water reservoir, it does have some backlighting to it, kind of a blue. It is nice that you can see this red ball drop down. But you do have to be careful. You can run it dry. There's nothing to prevent it from running. Once it gets past the minimum mark, it will run dry. So yeah, this is just a very nice coffee maker that I highly recommend. I do think it has just a nice looking appearance to it. It's fast, quiet, kind of the things you want in a coffee maker. So I hope this video helps. Thanks everybody for watching.